but it's the home field for the Jets, and despite the high hopes that accompany a new coach and a new season, Jets fans continue to suffer here at home. 13 straight defeats, one shy of the NFL record. Is this the Sunday the Bill Parcells coach Jets begin a new flight pattern? A sellout crowd at the Meadowlands as the Oakland Raiders 1-2 meet the New York Jets 1-2, and it's a beautiful day, sunny and autumnal, 60 degrees. Hello everyone, with Phil Simms and Paul McGuire. Week ago, Foxborough, the Jets had a chance, missed a field goal late, could have beaten the AFC champions on their home field.
Well, monumental, that is the word Bill Parcells used. What an opportunity they lost to go on the road and beat the division champions, a team that went to the Super Bowl. He said psychologically, it's a battle with this Jet team every week because mentally, they're very fragile. They're used to losing. But I will say this about the Jets. They're exciting to watch. They score a lot of points. Bill Parcells has them on the right track.
And there's a capital E in excitement for the Oakland Raiders as well. They've got that offense going downfield.
Big play offense led by Jeff George. You know, here's a team that's scoring 28 points a game. They're number one in the National Football League in passing. However, their defense is dead last. On defense, the rushing defense, giving up 166 yards a game and 5.3 yards average. You know, you cannot do that in football. You can't give up 28 points and make 28 points and expect to win.
Well, the Jet fans are looking for that elusive victory, and of course the Oakland Raiders are represented here as well. As the National Football League announces, there is a freedom of expression at all NFL cities. We'll be right back.
I'm Jim Gray. As we get ready for the kickoff, I'm joined by Timmy Brown of the Raiders. Timmy, it sounds odd to say, but week 4, this is now a must-win situation for the Raiders, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, it's an opportunity for us to get back at 500 and start the season anew. So it's a big game for us.
Sounds hard to believe, but week 4.
Tim Brown with 23 catches, tied for the league. And here's an interesting early development. The Jets won the toss, but elected to kick off to start the game. Bill Parcells wants the side with the win to open this quarter, and he's got this young rookie kicker from Wisconsin, John Hall. In 19 kickoffs thus far, 11 have been touchbacks. And if he can get that thing teed up, we'll see how well he can do with a win today.
Well, you know, Dick, it tells me right away. We talked about it. He's worried about his team, wants to give them an advantage as soon as he can. So he wants to get them off to a good start. So get the win behind you.
Desmond Howard and Tim Hall are at the other end for Joe Bugel's Raiders. Long-time outstanding assistant coach in the league. Joe Gibbs, line coach when he went to those Super Bowls with the Washington Redskins, now in his first year as head coach of the Raiders. And now Hall is ready to give it a ride, and so he does. High spinning kick that isn't going to make the end zone, to the 1-yard line where Desmond Howard, the Super Bowl most valuable player, takes it out to the 25 and tripped up and flags fly. Marcus Coleman made the tackle for the green jersey Jets. 25-yard return. Dick Hantak is our referee today.
Face mask on the kicking team, number 42, 5-yard penalty, first down.
You know, that's the same guy that was holding the ball. Number 42 is Marcus Coleman. He was holding the ball for Hall and gets down and grabs the face mask.
Jeff George, in his initial season with the Raiders, will start at the 31-yard line, and he begins today as the leading passer in terms of productivity in the NFL. There are the linemen, Steve Wisniewski, a perennial All-Pro, Napoleon Kaufman, brilliant last week, 140 yards, Fenner at fullback, Jett and Brown, the wide receivers, and Ricky Dudley, the big tight end. This goes to Tim Brown, and Brown comes out with a first catch and a 14-yard gain. Victor Green, the Jets safety, makes the tackle, first down, just shy of the 45. The Jets have switched from the 4-3 to the 3-4, in part necessitated by the injury to Ronnie Dixon. Lyle Logan and Hugh Douglas returns. Mo Lewis, Pepper Johnson, Marvin Jones, and the rookie from Virginia, their number 1 pick, Ferrier. Glenn and Smith at the corners. Green and Henderson at safety. Single back. 3 wide receivers. George to throw. What? And it's over the head of Tim Brown, and the wind may have affected that soft toss.
Well, it was a big play by the Raiders. It worked. Tim Brown was wide open. Jeff George just overthrew it, but this Oakland Raider offense, Al Davis has got to be happy. They're making the big plays. That's what he wanted. Throw the ball down the field. Napoleon Kaufman, you have an excellent running game. When you throw it, get some chunks.
Jets defense, first of all, contain Kaufman, and that's the most important. Keep this guy inside and try to stop Tim Brown with Aaron Glenn.
Only Kaufman behind George, and that's Harvey Williams playing tight end. George, a quick throw, complete to Brown again, and he ducks out of bounds close to a first down at the Jets' 46-yard line. Aaron Glenn, the corner.
Well, there's a matchup you're going to see all day. Tim Brown against Aaron Glenn. The Jets say Jeff George loves to look for Tim Brown. I would too if you have a guy this good. Look for him in the passing game. His first 3 throws, all to Tim Brown.
Brown from Notre Dame, former Heisman winner, has 2 catches to boost his season total to 25 already. Add the 2 to the NFL leader. Chris Carter shared the lead starting today. The Minnesota Vikings outstanding receiver. Here's Kaufman, and he is drilled after a gain of a yard. Marvin Jones led the charge, but it's good enough for a first down on 3rd and 1.
The one thing about Kaufman, though, and everybody in the league knows it, fellas, you've got to get him outside. You run him inside. I mean, he's a little small in stature, but he really doesn't have that great power to run inside the tackles. What you need to do with him is get him outside. If you get him to the outside, he's gone.
Look out.
Well, Atlanta would confess to that with runs of 61 and 58 yards for touchdowns last week by Kaufman. First down, George to throw. Down the middle to the tight end, Dudley, incomplete. Broken up by Victor Green, 21. He timed his hit when it appeared Dudley might have a catch around the 15-yard line.
Boy, I'll tell you, Victor Green does really save this play. He just gets a piece. Watch 21. Bang, the ball is there. He's there at the same time. That's outstanding coverage. And this is what a defensive back is supposed to do. Dudley, a year ago, could not catch a pass, couldn't catch a cold. Now he's catching everything they throw at him. He's averaging 29 yards a catch.
Dudley with a huge size advantage on Green. Green is 7 inches shorter and 50 pounds lighter than this former Ohio State basketball player. Kaufman trying to get outside. They force him inside, and he gains only a couple. Ernie Logan making the stop, the 290-pounder from East Carolina.
Well, the Jet defense, they should be familiar with this Oakland Raider offense. One of Bill Parcells' old coaches, Ray Perkins, now the offensive coordinator for the Raiders, basically calling all the same plays, same formations that he ran last year up in New England.
There's Perkins, former star at Alabama, head coach here in New York area with the Giants. On 3rd and 8, underneath to Brown. Who else? Even though you know they're going to go to Tim Brown, they can't seem to stop it.
I'll tell you, Aaron Glenn is really upset, and I think he's looking for some help on the inside, because if you take a look at Tim Brown coming off, he goes into Glenn, and then that's a quick break off.
Now, I'll tell you what he's upset about. He's right there. He expects to make the play. Paul, that defense, there's nobody to help him. It's man coverage. He has Tim Brown all over the field.
3 catches today for 26. The rest of the team with 29. So he is a one-man receiving team. First down at the 34, opening possession, and into the wind. Kaufman up the middle, finds a little crease and is to the 29-yard line, a gain of at least 5. Ernie Logan, the defensive tackle, to make the stop.
The Jets, they guess wrong. It's a guessing game in the NFL. First down, they're on the left hash of the Raiders. Watch the corner come off on the blitz. Nobody picks him up. The Raiders have been throwing it every first down, so they figure they're going to do it again this time. If it would have been a play action pass, it'd have been a sack or probably a fumble, but the Raiders ran the football.
8 play, 4 minutes consumed of this opening drive. Second and a short 5 for George. Protection breaks down, and the sack by Rick Lyle, his first of the season.
Lincoln Kennedy is the guy that Lyle gets by, and he gets to Jeff George. Jeff George, and we ask him, does he wait on Tim Brown? And I think he does. You see Lyle coming up. He just gets around Kennedy on the outside, makes a play. That's outstanding.
Well, every time we talk to defensive players around the league, they complain that the quarterback gets rid of the ball too fast. This Raider offense, they hold the ball quite a while, look down the field. You're a defensive lineman, you got a chance to get a sack.
3rd and 9. George to Brown, and this time short of the first down. Tackled shy of the 25 by Victor Green, and it'll bring up 4th down and a long 1.
Well, they've got an excellent field goal kicker, so with Cole Ford, and they will bring him in.
Closer to 2 yards, and Ford, who is 4 for 5 this year, kicked at Southern California. He has a tight end size and tight end mentality. And at the moment, the breeze, sometimes very strong, has lightened a bit.
Well, it's lightened a little, but this is the end they're kicking into. The wind gets stronger at this end, so you can see the top of the goalposts are shaking a little bit.
44-yard attempt. And it's hooking, no good, wide to the left.
Dick, that's where you got to learn to respect this stadium in the wind. You have to know that's going to be a tough kick.
Bill Parcells' strategy of taking the wind to open the game pays an early dividend. Drive, 53 yards, 11 plays for the Raiders. 5.5 minutes, no score. As Cole Ford unable to connect on the 44-yard field goal try. And now Adrian Morrell rumbles for 11 and a first down to the 45-yard line, as the Jets' top runner and developing in one of the best runners in the league makes an early statement. Elliott, Palale, Duffy, O'Dwyer, and Williams, the offensive line, maligned this past week by their coach Parcells. Morrell with Richie Anderson. Anderson gets the go with Johnson and Graham, the wide receivers, and Kyle Brady, the tight end. 3 tight ends currently in the game for Parcells. That means he wants to run it, and Morrell hit in the backfield, able to get a yard out of nothing. Albert Lewis, the cornerback, in to make the tackle. Also in on the play, Lance Johnstone. Here are the Raiders defensively: Smith, Maryland, McLaughlin, and Johnstone. A tough front 4. The linebackers, Fredrickson, Beekert, and Morton. And look at the cornerbacks: Lionel Washington for the injured Terry McDaniel, and Albert Lewis. Talk about veterans, with Trapp and Turner at safety. Neil O'Donnell's first throw. Lots of time. And incomplete to Keyshawn Johnson at the 39 of the Raiders.
Well, it's obvious the Jet game plan on offense. Try to run the football. They tried to do that, got in a situation where he had to throw, because this team, 15 sacks in the last 2 games, cannot block for the pass.
You're right. In obvious passing situations, the Jets are not protecting. Hey, this has got the Raiders excited. They've told their offensive line, our defensive lineman today, go to the passer, and if they run a draw on the screen, then react to it. But let's get to the quarterback.
3rd down and 9. Fred Winningham, who first coached for Ray Malavasi with the Rams some dozen years ago, and now has moved to the defensive coordinator position for Joe Bugle. Time called here.
You know what's kind of scary is when you look at that last pass and O'Donnell rolling out.
Please reset the game clock.
He had all the time in the world to throw the ball.
At 5 seconds back on the clock. 8:16. Ball blew from the spot, so they reset it. Shotgun O'Donnell. Intercepted for a moment as Lionel Washington, the veteran who has picked off 35 in his 15-year career, had his mitts on another, couldn't hold on. It was intended for Jeff Graham.
Lionel Washington does a good job, number 23, reading a route, and when the receivers run across the field, they're using what we call a speed route. Try to go underneath them to get that angle. He did a good job of it that time.
And Brian Hansen, averaging over 45 a punt in the young season, will have the wind to help him on this one. Desmond Howard at the 10 for the Raiders. Slicing spiral. Howard, 20, 25 to the 28. Desmond Howard, the Super Bowl most valuable player, one of the key acquisitions for the Raiders in '97. Signed by the Raiders, and they gave him number 3, Darryl LaMonica's old number, and he is 8.97 this season. That's the most yardage per attempted pass.
Well, in this day and age, when every team is throwing the ball 3 and 4 yards down the field, it's a lot of fun, and it's different to watch a football team look down the field and the quarterback gets the protection to do those things.
Incomplete to James Jett. You saw the numbers 4 for 6 prior to that pass. All 4 completions to Tim Brown.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Dudley, Ricky Dudley, was wide open out in the flat, and I guarantee you they saw it because he turned around and looked at the bench, and Ricky Dudley is catching the ball this year.
He had his troubles last season, this giant target at 6'6", but he has 7 this year for almost a 30-yard average. And down after a gain of 5 at the 34, Mo Lewis led the charge.
You know, Phil's talking about, Dick, where, you know, it's refreshing to see a team go down the field with the ball, try to make the big play, but it all happens up front. I mean, those offensive linemen, it's a difference between the Jet offensive lineman and the Raider offensive lineman. They're not giving up the sacks.
That's a good point, Paul. They get a big offensive lineman, the Raiders do. They allow the quarterback to get that extra time, but also the Raiders are not one of those teams that send out 5 receivers every single passing play, too.
Tim Brown now is the receiver bottom of the screen. You'll want to watch for him. Under pressure is George, and down he goes on the sack by Marvin Shade Tree Jones.
Didn't I just say they don't give up those sacks?
Second sack today by the Jets. And for Jones, his second of the season.
Well, it's a good job by Marvin Jones. It's a delayed blitz. Watch him up top. What happens is the back, he reads the back. The back is helping the offensive lineman. He sees that. He comes in, gets the sack.
Leo Aragus to punt, averaging 44. First 3 games. Leon Johnson, the rookie from North Carolina, at the other end.
Well, that's a good punt.
Wobbly kick that comes down to Johnson at the 30. And a good return out to the 42-yard line. 45-yard punt. A dozen on the return. No score. 6 minutes plus left in the first quarter. Tiger Woods and Tom Kite's team favored to beat the European side. We'll have all that for you next Saturday and Sunday. You see the starting drives, and the Jets beginning today have started in the best position of any team in the NFL, and their 2 drives in this opening quarter from the 34 and 42-yard line. So Bill Parcells' team in good position when O'Donnell gets the ball.
Well, you're right. That's why they're scoring points, and it also tells you their return teams have been good for them this year. Their punt return and their kickoff returns.
5 yards on first down for Morrell. He gets the ball again. First down at the 49-yard line. As James Trapp and Mike Morton collaborate on the stop. The NFL season extends to the World Wide Web on NFL.com, the league's official website. Visit NFL.com for all the scores and stats, including a complete roundup of this weekend's scores in action. Plus, you can chat live with some of the NFL's biggest stars. It's all at NFL.com. Neil O'Donnell looking for his first completion. He's 0 for 2. Third down and 3. To the sidelines and not close to Keyshawn Johnson as the veteran Albert Lewis had just warded the receiver right out of the play.
You know what's amazing on that play? You take a look at what the Raiders did on the defensive side of it. Mike Morton, number 50, is a linebacker. He is out all the way wide, one-on-one on John Burke, the tight end, and they don't throw the ball to him.
Well, the Jets were just trying to fool the Raiders. They didn't substitute, so they split some of those guys wide, trying to get some single coverage inside, and it didn't work.
Hansen sends a high kick, the fair catch by Howard at the 19-yard line. Well, the Raiders have it for the 3rd time. We have 5 minutes 23 seconds left in a scoreless first quarter. To the Meadowlands, no score, each team with a couple of possessions, and the Raiders begin from their own 20-yard line. Bill Parcells, Dwayne Charles, if you will, the big tuna. 56 years of age, but still a lot of fire in the furnace. The toss to Huff, and they try to get him outside. Now reverses his field, 1 man to beat. And luckily, by just the shirt tail, is dragged down after a gain of about 9.
You want to see some excitement now. You know, Kaufman is trying to get to the outside on the right. He sees that there's nothing there. He's going to come. Watch this. He's going to his right where the blocking is. Whoops, there's nobody there. Watch his feet, folks. Just look at his feet. Watch his move coming right about now. Inside. Your history, outside.
Well, what the Jet defense learned right there, Paul, hey, if you're behind the play, keep good angles because this guy's going to come back to you sometimes.
10 yards for Kaufman. First down at the 30. It's Dudley, the tight end, in motion, and it's Kaufman again. And he's close to another first down out at the 40-yard line. Jerome Henderson, the safety, making the tackle. Well, this is what the Jets want to prevent as we go back a week ago to Atlanta, as Kaufman had his career best rushing game. He carried the ball 14 times for 140 yards, some of them spectacular. Touchdown runs of 61 and 58 yards. And coming into today, Kaufman, 5th in the AFC in rushing, is averaging a healthy 5.3 a carry. 10 yards and 9 yards on his last 2. And he gets about 5 there. Mo Lewis makes the tackle.
I got to just say something. I got to say something about this guy, Kaufman. Here he comes off the field now after running the ball 3 times, and you watch the cuts that he makes in the line of scrimmage. But we're asked. Some say you can't go for an entire game, and he looked at who said that. Who said that? He thinks he can.
Well, against Tennessee, he started slowly and then picked it up against the Chiefs, and then a big game in the victory against Atlanta. 2nd and 5. George going deep, and is caught by Jet for a touchdown. James Jet, 56 yards.
Well, Jeff George, sometimes he goes back and he moves those feet around and really doesn't get set and show good mechanics for a quarterback. Into the wind, he got his feet underneath him, and that is about as perfect as you can throw a football.
So much for the wind, Phil. You were down on the field earlier, and the wind was blowing, but look where this ball ends up, folks. It is absolutely perfectly thrown. Jet does not lose stride, and Jet is gone.
He got with his speed behind Otis Smith. What did George tell us yesterday? He said he told Jet when they first met, I can never underthrow you. And flags fly, whistles blow. Looked as if Lincoln Kennedy might have pulled off his 3-point stance. And he said, well, how long did it take before he was proven wrong?
First play. First time he threw the ball again. He said underthrow.
Number 72 prior to the snap.
So I said
5-yard penalty, 1 try.
I said the one thing you got to do is just take a 1-step drop when you have Jet or one of the Jet, and just let it fly, and they'll get it.
Well, that was a great throw into the wind. Jeff George, his 7th touchdown pass. He's been picked off only twice. And we mentioned the number 3 for the Mad Bomber, Darryl LaMonica, revisited.
I thought Al Davis had a great line. He said it wouldn't have been that number if I had to pick it.
Whoa, that's no good. He misses the extra point. Wide to the right. So perhaps overcompensating. He missed the field goal to the left. He aims right. It stays right. 6-0 the score.
Well, you know, this is the thing where the wind starts to play tricks on your mind. Look at this. This ball is set up perfectly, and he felt, well, I'll just put it a little bit out, and it'll bring it back. Well, it never come back. The reason it doesn't come back is too short of a distance.
You know, so often come back to bite you. So Jet against the Jets, and it's 6-0 Oakland.
Well, let's watch James Jet outside against Otis Smith. This is real speed, and that's a lot of speed. And if you watch Jeff George during the throw, he knew it was man coverage outside. He got back there fast. He got his feet under him, and he threw that ball on a line because he knew he had to with the speed of James Jet.
Great move, huh?
Yeah, it was a great move. Yeah.
Was that a great move? He ran 100 miles an hour straight down the field. Never put a wrinkle, not a thing.
Well, that says a lot. In this league, and Paul, we've done a lot of games. These receivers, no matter how fast they are, these defensive backs can usually turn and run with them. That time, Otis Smith, he had no chance.
Jet with world-class speed. Of course, a gold medal winner of the 4x100 relay at the Olympic Games in Barcelona. And Ford, who did not miss an extra point all of last year, was 36 for 36. Has missed here at the Meadowlands. His end-over-end kick coming up short. Aaron Glenn, who has a touchdown return on the kickoff, is dragged down at the 35-yard line. Eddie Anderson, the veteran, is on special teams today, makes the tackle. NBC Premier Week starts Monday. And 5 nights of,
you know, with all the technicians we have and all the technology we have, someone attempts to go live. I mean, that's hard. That's hard stuff.
well, that's live theater on television. O'Donnell looks for a completion and finds one to Anderson out in the flat. And Richie Anderson, the former Nittany Lion, close to a first down. James Trapp made the tackle.
Well, the Jets have had a little trouble protecting the passer. Watch 96. Darrell Russell gets by the lineman on the inside. Ooh, that's a little close. I mean, that's borderline. Last week, he hit Chris Chandler late down in Atlanta, got fined for it for a late hit. That one, not only for the hit, but you're not allowed to fall on top of the quarterback like that.
Russell, the 21-year-old rookie from Southern California. Very impressive young man in many ways. Second down and 1. Long pass, complete to Jeff Graham. And Graham bumped out of bounds by Lionel Washington. First down at the Raider 20.
When you have second and short, a lot of offensive coordinators and teams in this league like to take a chance, go down the field. Lionel Washington, number 23, was expecting a short throw. Excellent route by Jeff Graham, making the move inside, then going back outside.
Yeah, but the catch is so important. Look at this. This is the hardest catch in all of football to make. The one that's over the shoulder, because what happens when it comes down through your sight, you lose sight of the ball. So now it's all field.
36 yards on the pass. O'Donnell now the handoff to Morrell. Gets maybe 3 up the middle. Russell Maryland, the veteran former Cowboy, and Russell in on the tackle. Darrell Russell, 96. He's only 21. He left USC after 3 years, but he only has 4 more classes to complete a sociology degree. Was a B student there, son of a Navy captain. His dad's 5'8", his mom's 5'7". He's 6'5" and 315.
You know the amazing part about sitting there talking to him, though? He's one of those, you think, well, I got a young man, and they're going to get nervous. He thinks out every single thing he's going to say.
Something you don't do.
Hey, nobody's perfect.
That's right.
Incomplete to Morrell. It'll be 3rd and 7.
When I was that age, I used to think everything out.
You've never thought.
I did, huh? I thought once I thought.
And Russell said he even studies the films of the great pass rushers, Reggie White and John Randall, and said that he's learned that club move that White and, of course, Howie Long invented.
I don't know why more of these guys don't study the techniques of people in the past that have been so successful. I hear that all the time from wide receivers, defensive linemen, offensive linemen. They should do it too.
Shotgun on 3rd and 7, trailing 6-0. Flags are down. O'Donnell has a man. Johnson incomplete, and no flag. The ruling is that the pass was not catchable. James Trapp would indeed have been called for interference otherwise, but the official on the spot motioned that hand over the head that it was not a catchable pass.
There was a legal motion by the New York Jets.
So that play.
You know, when you just mentioned that, Dick, about the official downfield, it
illegal
puts his hand.
formation. Offense number 76 was not on the line of scrimmage. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
That's Jumbo Elliott, but that signal in the end zone, Dick, the hand above the head, it eliminates any argument or anything. The official had already made the ruling. The ball was not catchable, so no matter whatever happens, doesn't make any difference.
John Hall, who missed that heartbreaking field goal that could have won it, New England in the final minute last Sunday, will try a 34-yard attempt to give the Jets their first score.
We asked Coach Parcells, would there be a lingering effect for missing that kick? He says no.
Well, right down the center.
He said Hall's not one of these psycho kickers. He can handle missing a field goal.
He does call it the way he sees it, doesn't he, Parcells?
Oh, yeah.
Did you really hate him? I mean, were there times where you hated him as a player?
Well,
Love Parcells.
Yes, I did. And, you know, I think what happened, I did really enjoy playing for him. I knew it was good. But once I got done, Dick, and once he left here, then I sit back and I realized, and I go, boy, you know what? He was right. All the things he taught us and told us during his, my career, you look back, you go, he did it the right way for you. He gives you the best opportunity.
Well, you know, the thing about him is, in the years that I've known him, and you see the things and hear the stories that Phil tells about him, is that he just doesn't want you to get overconfident in yourself. I mean, you'll get to a point where you think, boy, I'm really doing a great job, and he'll just needle you one time and say, bring you back down here, listen, pal, you're not doing what I think you should be doing. And you've got to love that in a coach.
That old line, don't think you're so good, you start to hurt the team. Hall now using that strong right leg. Oh, he really rockets this one. Down to the 2-yard line to Howard. Finds a little room on the outside and to the 26-yard line. Well, Pepper Johnson told us the first 2 years that maybe Parcells has mellowed, because when he first played with him, it took 2 years before he said hello to me. He says now look at him, how he treats the rookies. He's treating them like they really
Everybody
like
up
something.
here, come here. Get up here. All right, this next series now, we're going to turn this game around. There it is. There you go. Nice job, Rick. That's the way to make the big play, kid. That's the way to make the big play. I'll tell you what, you know what? You're pretty good, Foley. You're pretty good. That's the way to go, kid. That's the way to go out there.
He said, boy, I wouldn't like that, Johnson said when I first broke in with him. Oh, Kaufman was dead for that tackle, and the man ran right by him. The linebacker, I think it was Pepper, had a chance to get him in the backfield.
Pepper Johnson was there almost ready to take the handoff, and I think he's going to be a little upset with himself that he didn't. Pepper Johnson 52 blitz, and look at this. He goes right back and he misses. He goes between the quarterback and the back. You're almost caught in no man's land. Which one do I take?
You know, you're talking about that story, Dick, and just to go back to it, young players, he used to stand in front of the young players in a meeting room and say, we don't need you. We can win without you. That has changed. Nowadays, you need the young players.
2nd and 8 into the flat to Kaufman. Trying to use that speed outside. He's dragged down by James Ferrier, the #1 pick from Virginia, and that'll be, I believe, enough for the first down.
The man that just made a tackle is one of those young people you're talking about, Ferrier, their #1 draft pick.
Now the Raiders move the chains again. It's 6-3, final seconds of the quarter, and that will be the final play of this first period. Led by Jeff George, 6 for 9. The Oakland Raiders lead it 6-3.
It's good to get a little respect. I like that. I'm hungry too, so it comes in handy.
Those blueberries do look good. Kaufman. He has tackled no gain. What else is happening? Let's go to Greg Gumbel.
Dick, I'm glad you asked. In Memphis, Steve McNair puts together a pretty nice first quarter drive, 7 for 7 throwing, including a 36-yard touchdown pass to Frank Wycheck. Last minute of the first quarter now, 7-3, the Oilers leading the Baltimore Ravens. Dick?
All right, we'll eventually see those Oilers on Thanksgiving Day in Dallas. Team that doesn't get much publicity, but pretty solid both sides.
Doing it the right way, Dick. A young quarterback running the football and picking the spots where they want to throw it.
2nd and 11 for George. Has to throw it away. And a flag down. A late hit. Jason Ferguson appeared to get to George after he'd thrown the ball, and that's the call from Dick Hantak.
I mean, there's just no reason to do this. This is what you call dumb penalties. When you do something dumb.
Roughing the passer. Defense, number 72. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Rookie from Georgia, Ferguson, a 7th-round pick.
Jeff George throwing the ball away. Jason Ferguson, number 72.
Yeah, just a little mitt, but it was well after the throw and caught Hantak's eye.
I mean, you look at there, now that would have been 3rd down and 10.
Instead, it's a first down at the Jets 49.
Romeo Cornell, the defensive line coach, getting on his pupil, Jason Ferguson.
Harvey Williams in motion, and it's Kaufman. Boy, what a line charge. Good hit, but Kaufman close to another first down. Victor Green made the tackle, but the Raider line had pushed the Jets back 3 yards on the snap.
Yeah, but watch how quick he gets to the hole. Just watch Kaufman get to this hole. You see the ball is snapped, and watch how fast. There's the blocking is right up front, and look at that hole. When you have that much quickness, I'm not worried about speed, but that much quickness to get to the line of scrimmage, you can make things happen.
Kaufman now with 49 yards rushing on 10 tries. 6-3, the Raiders lead it. Missed extra point. Kaufman again. Breaks a couple of tackles and gets to the 36, almost the 35. 2nd and 5. Ferrier and Henderson make the stop.
Look, Harvey Williams is hurt.
Williams, who is a running back converted to tight end, as we watch Steve Wisniewski, number 76.
Well, I tell you, this is really one of the better offensive linemen in the NFL. Gets a lot of publicity because he plays hard until that whistle blows.
Center in motion. Kaufman. They surround him and drop him for no gain at the 35. Marvin Jones played his part of the field very well and had help from Aaron Glenn.
Well, that's one of those situations what they really try to do defensively is to not let Kaufman get to the outside. If you can get him dancing in that backfield, now you have a chance to take a shot at him.
Well, the Raiders are averaging 6.5 yards per play in this first half. So to stop Kaufman for no gain is a moral victory. Now down to 6.2. Kenny Shedd left. Jet far right. Brown split right. George, good protection. Fires complete. Can be close to a first down to Shedd. Northern Iowa in his third year. It's his third catch of the season.
Paul, you know you can do these kind of things when you got a really good arm. And Jeff George looks down the field. Wide receivers are open. Kenny Shedd is like the last thought. You can see it's a short route. He's like the outlet receiver. Jeff George is backpedaling. Finally decides to throw it away. Picks out Kenny Shedd.
Here's what you're talking about. Look at Jeff George. He's looking the entire field over, and now he sees Shedd. He sees him coming back to him. But that's the guy. You're right. The last guy he was going to throw the ball to.
When the quarterback is back there directing traffic, that means he's getting a little too much time.
6 yards on the play. They needed 5 for the first down.
Oh, wide open.
Going for 6, and he's wide open. Tim Brown. 29-yard touchdown, and George has thrown his second touchdown pass of this opening half.
They're going to go for 2 here.
Otis Smith has been burned twice by George.
I'll tell you, it must be a thrilling thing for a quarterback to look down the field and see nothing but a white shirt standing in the end zone all by himself.
And now the extra point, or will they go for 2? Yes, they're going to bring on the total offensive unit as Cole Ford was on the field, comes back off as after the missed extra point. Joe Bugle will try to get the 2 back here. Meanwhile, Jeff George is 8 for 11, already 137 yards and 2 touchdown passes.
But it's just a great illustration what happens when teams run the ball and they throw it down. This Raider offense, this is what they designed it to do. Run it, make a defense play on us, and then take advantage of it.
Go for the 2.
Offside.
The throw complete. I don't see a flag. It was intended for Shedd. No flag. So 12-3 the score. 74 yards and 8 plays. Jeff George to his favorite target, Tim Brown, 29 yards for the touchdown. The 2 Jeff George touchdown passes, and they squib one down into the front of the wedge, and it's the fullback Lorenzo Neal, who brings it out to the 43-yard line. 21 yards on the return by Neal. Let's go back to the touchdown throw to Brown.
Tim Brown, 81 against Otis Smith. Man coverage, just a nice little subtle move, and he breaks back to the inside. It's man coverage. Jeff George knows he has Tim Brown one-on-one. And Paul, we had a conversation about this last week.
Well, when you look at this 2-point conversion, look up near the top of the screen. They say there's such a thing as a neutral zone. Are they in a neutral zone? Here they come. Look at this. They're offside. As far as I'm concerned, they're offside.
Jerome Henderson, 26, seemed to be in the neutral zone. No call. That was on the 2-point play.
So obviously they weren't offside.
O'Donnell, contact before the ball arrived, but no flag again. Oh my, Jeff Graham, the intended receiver.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, I guess they don't call this penalty because Lionel Washington didn't mean to do it or something, Paul, but he is definitely hitting the receiver from behind, keeping him from catching the ball.
He didn't mean to do it?
Well, I don't know. That's the only reason I can think why they didn't call it.
Lionel Washington, who played, of course, in Denver the last few years and returns to his former NFL home, the Raiders. He and Albert Lewis formed perhaps the oldest set of starting cornerbacks in NFL history by playing. Wide open is Keyshawn Johnson. He has the first down at the 40-yard line. 17 on the play. Johnson's first catch today.
They get Keyshawn ISO'd one-on-one on James Trapp, number 37. And James Trapp, understand, is a safety but can't play corner. There's another good move like you were talking about. Back to the inside, then back to the outside.
Both of these teams doing a good job letting the receivers go down the field, make double moves, gives them a chance to separate from the defensive back, enables the quarterback to, get big gains in the passing game.
On the Raider 40. Play action. Wide open to tight end Brady, and Kyle Brady has 17 more to the 23-yard line. So the Jets on the move, and so are we to Greg Gumbel, who was Desmond Howard's quarterback at Michigan. Wide open in the flat, and the throw is to Anderson, and Anderson steps out of bounds inside the 5. Almost a touchdown, 19 more yards. Albert Lewis saved the score.
There's just nobody covered Anderson coming out of the backfield. He swings out in the backfield. Everybody else is downfield. There are no linebackers there, and Anderson is wide open. That's easy.
Well, what happened is Greg Biekert, the middle linebacker, has him in man coverage. A lot of receivers go up the field. He can't fight his way through all of them. Leaves Lorenzo Neal out in the flat wide open.
Last 3 passes to Johnson for 18, Brady for 16. Now Anderson 19 yards, first and goal at the 4. Morrell. Touchdown Jets. Adrian Morrell with that salute to celebrate the touchdown, perhaps in honor of his father, a 26-year-old Army veteran, a sergeant major. It didn't take long for Bill Parcells' team to answer back, did it?
Well, that was easy. They just went right down the field.
Well, it was a good job, of course, when making a big play in the passing game, then setting it up, and the Raiders are thinking pass. You run the sweep on them, nobody there to tackle the runner.
And now with the failure of extra points, Hall's extra point pulls the Jets within 2. It's 12-10. 9:28 remaining in the first half. Adrian Morrell with his first rushing touchdown of the year. It's a renewed spirit here. The fans of the Jets haven't had a chance to do a lot of cheering off a 1-15 year. And Bill Parcells has some of the locals pretty excited about the potential of this team. Hall kicks it to Howard, and Howard slips through, and it was only Hall left as he went down at the 33-yard line. And how about the blocking on Morrell's touchdown run?
Watch Kyle Brady here. John Burke, the tight end. The receivers for the tight ends for the Jets don't catch a lot of passes, but they are really good blockers. Look at Kyle Brady. John Burke seals it. Good. That's a good job of opening the hole. A good lead block by Richie Anderson.
Richie Anderson ends up going in number 20 as the lead blocker and picks up 2 guys on that block at the end. We're all thanks him all tomorrow.
First rushing touchdown by a Jets running back this season. Now Jeff George with a couple of touchdown passes. That's Harvey Williams back in the game in motion, and Kaufman tries the center of the line, earns only 2. Pepper Johnson and company with the tackle. In case you're just joining us, Bill Parcells didn't like what he saw here from George in the vertical offense. First a bomb to James Jett. That good for 56 yards, and this one for 29. And the second score. Second down, they call it 7. It's a long 7. George out of the backfield to Kaufman. Mo Lewis drags him down at the 41. It'll be very close to a first down. Might be just shy.
You know, Dick, you're talking about that vertical and the big play offense of the Oakland Raiders with Jeff George. But the only big problem is the negative part about it is their defense is last in the league in defense, and they give up 166 yards a game rushing, and you can throw all the touchdowns you want. They've scored 84 points. They've given up 83 going into this game.
Fenner, and now Joe Aska is in for Kaufman on 3rd and short. And Aska has the first down. He needed only inches, and he's out to the 43-yard line.
Well, yesterday we had a chance, and all of us were sitting around. Now Davis came in and sat down with us for a few minutes and visited, and we talked about some things, how he recruited Paul, and at the Citadel, and you weren't a very good player. We all knew that anyway, Paul.
But he likes him as an announcer, surprisingly.
Yeah, he did like you as an announcer.
I paid him to say
He
that.
never listens, I guess. But what he did say, I said, do you like your offense? It's going down the field. I thought he was going to say, yeah, I love it. He goes, well, it's getting better. He still wants more balls down the field, challenge the defense more. So you can't throw enough deep balls for our days.
Hoffman. How did he get through there? Squirts 3, 40, and out of bounds inside the Jets 35. And a flag goes down. That's going to be against someone on the near sidelines, perhaps a Raider coach. Jerome Henderson may have applied a late hit. Dale Williams, the head linesman, makes the call.
Personal foul. Defense. Unnecessary roughness, number 26. Late hit out of bounds. 15 yards. First down.
Surprisingly, the Raiders have not drawn a penalty today. We say that because they've often led the league. And here, watch Henderson 26 on Kaufman 26.
Yeah, he definitely a late hit. Hits him out of bounds. He's 4 yards out of bounds. But Paul, you said earlier, Kaufman might not be a strong runner. There he showed you a little strength. He's running so fast, he's able to break a few of those tackles at the line.
Well, actually, he got knocked through the hole by the defenders. When they were getting knocked down, they knocked him through.
First down at the 18. Good protection. Wide open underneath this Kaufman, and he's to the 14-yard line. Tackled by Marvin Jones. Kaufman slow getting up.
Once it's just a good job by Jeff George. Couple things to watch. His pass protection. Nobody around him. Look at the view he has to the offensive back. The receivers are covered down the field, and you want your quarterback, even though you teach him to get it down the field, be smart, take the sure game.
They spot it closer to the 13, so call it 2nd and 4. It says 2nd and 5 in the scoreboard, but it's only 4. Kaufman brought down shy of the 10, where it'll be 3rd and yard and a half.
You know, Dick, yesterday when we were talking to Jeff George, he said when I was sitting out and I was planning on coming to the Raiders, he said I kept looking at this football team and thinking, with all this talent, why are they not winning? And then he said, here I get here, we're 1-2 going into this ball game. He said it still boggles my mind we're not winning. One of the reasons they're not winning is because their defense. I mean, you can only put so many points up on the board, but you got to be able to stop somebody.
Well, the Jets have not been, as you saw in that graphic, very effective stopping the opposing teams in the red zone. Here's the quick throw, and it's going to be another touchdown, James Jett. The 3rd touchdown pass from Jeff George.
Can I tell you something? Otis Smith wasn't even on the field. I don't have any idea where Otis Smith was. He is number 45. Jett goes down, and it ain't close.
Well, Otis Smith, here's Otis Smith, James Jett. It's a blitz by the Jets. So Otis Smith has to play safe, doesn't want to get beat inside. He makes the move, and it really is just a good job by James Jett, changing directions, getting back in there for a touchdown.
But what a nightmare of a half for Otis Smith. He's been beaten on all 3 touchdowns.
Unsportsmanlike, number 34 of Oakland removed his helmet. By the new rule this year, a player cannot remove his helmet after a play. 15-yard penalty administered on the kickoff.
So that'll take the ball back to the 15-yard line when they kick off. The Jets should have another situation where they have good field position. Derek Fenner. He didn't score, Derek.
You talked about Otis Smith, though. Most teams come in when they play the Jets. They are going to pick on him. You can say Aaron Glenn or Otis Smith. Aaron Glenn's a good corner, one of the best in the league. A lot of balls go Otis Smith's way.
Cole Ford hits the extra point, and it's now 19-10. Jett with his 2nd touchdown of the first half. Quick spin move on Otis Smith, and the Raiders have a 9-point lead.
Look at Steve Wisniewski, left guard for the Raiders. Rick Terry going against him, gets that left hand up, knocks his helmet off, but he doesn't care.
No. Why? He's got to still block.
He is one of the tough linemen in the league. So kicking off from the 15-yard line, and a good kick by Ford to Aaron Glenn rather. Glenn to the 30, 35, and to the 39. Fumble the ball, and the Raiders have it at the 38-yard line. So leading 19-10, the Raiders get it right back.
Aaron Glenn was going through. There was a nice little alley for him created by the blocking. He gets his body turned, and it's just a really good hit by Rob Holmberg, hitting him, knocking the ball loose.
Holmberg, a backup linebacker with a hit, and Folston, another backup linebacker, recovers.
See, one of the things that you want to try to make something happen, and Glenn's trying to do that. But the most important thing you have to do is have control of that football. When you're going into a crowd like that, you've got to have both hands on the ball.
So here comes Jeff George with 3 touchdown passes in this first half. He's hit on 7 passes in a row. And you see the last 3 possessions, all considerable drives to touchdowns. 2 by Jett and 1 by Tim Brown.
Ray Perkins likes to take a shot in the end zone sometimes in these situations. This is not one of them.
Kaufman tackled by Pepper Johnson after a gain of 5 at least. There's Ray Perkins, who was Parcells' offensive coordinator at New England, now working for Joe Bugle. A reminder, next Saturday, here are the times: 12 noon Eastern, 11 Pacific for the Saturday action from Valderrama, the Ryder Cup, and then live on Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. That's right, you friends out there on the West Coast. 5 a.m. live for the Sunday finale of the singles play from southern Spain. Good patience by Kaufman, waited for the blocks to develop, and has a first down at the 21. And that's what he told us yesterday. He said, I'm fast, and when I was young, that's what I tried to hurry my runs.
Watch 71, Lester Holmes. Watch the block that he is going to get. And you talk about stay with the block. Watch this here. He stays with his block, and goes right behind him, which is perfect. Unbelievable.
Well, George has hit 7 straight passes, and Kaufman, meanwhile, in this first half, already with 101 yards rushing. Talk about it, too. Oh, there's the football, and it's going to be George, I believe, that recovers for the Raiders. George was in the right spot to fall on it for Oakland. A green jersey was in there with a chance to pull it in, but unsuccessfully, as it carried him to the quarterback.
Well, most quarterbacks, I don't remember Sims when he played, when there was a fumble, he was gone. I mean, he was on.
It wasn't in his contract.
Yeah, good point. I don't have to recover, but here it comes out. Up and drops the ball. They almost have the ball there, but watch this. The ball comes right to George. He goes down. That's a good play by the quarterback.
James Ferrier, the rookie from Virginia, the linebacker, had a chance for the Jets. Kaufman has fumbled 4 times in the last 5 games, but he's contributed a lot as well. 2nd and 16. The quick throw is to Harvey Williams, tackled immediately by Victor Green, and Green has made many a hit here in this first half. He played at Akron, free agent pick in '93. Ball at the 26-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and about 14. Only a couple yards on that completed pass, but that's 8 in a row now for George.
Well, Paul was making fun of me earlier when I said they're going to take a shot in the end zone. Usually Ray Perkins loves to get that ball once he gets across the 50, likes to take one chance and throw it in the end zone before he tries to pick up the first downs.
I like that quick you covered yourself, though.
Yeah.
Screen to Kaufman. Good play made by the Jets defender. As down low is Marvin Jones to trip up Kaufman.
Well, you know, Barrett Robbins, the center, almost got out and made the play on Jones. He just didn't get him quick enough because Jones got through the block and made the tackle.
And there is nobody to make this tackle but Marvin Jones, number 55. The rest of the defense, of course, what are they doing? They're looking down the field. Everybody had their backs turned, running, trying to prevent the big play. Good play by Marvin Jones.
It'll be a 43-yard attempt by Ford after he missed from 44 going the other way into the wind. This one is good. So the Raiders capitalize on the fumble by Aaron Glenn, add 3 more, and now lead by 12, 22-10, close to the 2-minute timeout. Well, gallant men have built must-see TV on Sunday, bringing glory and laughter to America. Not
that are killing your football team, fumbling, and a couple bad penalties.
And you know, he's very honest about it. He says they have a better football team than we do. I mean, and he's not trying to get sympathy from anybody. He just said they have better personnel at this point.
But he said, I'll judge my team after 8 games. I'm not going to judge them now. I've got to give them a chance to show me through the first 8. Hall, or take it forward to halfway into the end zone, where Glenn will take the touchback with 2:08 remaining in this first half. All 3 timeouts remain for both clubs. Neil O'Donnell, and here's the Oakland Jets comparison. Almost 2-1 the yards Raiders over the Jets in this first half.
But the one you talk about rushing now, 26. Remember, the Raiders giving up 166 yards a game rushing. It's still, in the second quarter. I understand that, but that is taking a lot off of what's going to happen.
That's probably confused me more about this Raider team than anything. Up front, they have good personnel. Big names: Chester McLaughlin, Russell Maryland, the #1 draft pick, Anthony Smith. They should be able to stand in there and stop the run.
They go with 4 wide receivers. O'Donnell goes underneath, and it's Wayne Corbett, his first catch of the day, and that takes it to the 2-minute timeout. Corbett, who has 12 catches, now 13 this year. We'll be back to the Meadowlands. Of his career, then Wayne Corbett, 150 catches. Here's a kid who played at Hofstra, where the Jets trained for the Flying Dutchman. He said, they threw me a bone because I was a local kid as a free agent. Right. He got what, $1,500 bonus to sign with the Jets.
Went to the Red Lobster. Took his mom.
She wouldn't eat lobster though.
She didn't spend all that money.
Yeah, she bought a watch. He bought a watch. Got to buy a watch. And there was his bonus.
What an inspirational young man he is. He's in the pattern again on 2nd and 1, and O'Donnell hit from behind, and down at the 25 is Anthony Smith, who leads the league in sacks coming into this game, now has 5.5.
Dick, we're just talking about Wayne Corbett. There's a sack right there, but just watch what happens. This time he goes to the backfield, and he got wide open. Neil O'Donnell did not see him.
No huddle, so on 3rd down, the throw incomplete behind Corbett. And 3 and out, and an injured Jet down. On the play is David Williams. Let's go back to, you were trying to make a point about Corbett.
Well, here's Wayne Corbett. Albert Lewis is covering him. This is a play that the Jets love. Wayne Corbett now can come out and go anywhere he wants, and look at Albert Lewis just falling backwards. Wayne Corbett, if he had a chance to catch that, a lot of room to run.
Then on the next play, when Corbett comes out, he's wide open again. And then Albert Lewis looked at Perry Carter and said, hey, look it, when they're throwing the ball to this guy. We talked to the Raiders yesterday, and they said on 3rd down or on passing situation, when Wayne Corbett is either in.
Left for the Raiders, they're going to have plenty of time. Desmond Howard back. Bad kick. Hanson to Howard, 40, and to the 47-yard line. So the Raiders in excellent field position. And Lorenzo Lynch downfield, continuing to maintain his contact, and his block as David Williams limps off. Well, Jeff George, all young kids like to copy the big guys, and George no different. He said, in the 3rd grade, I saw Terry Bradshaw and how he gripped the football. Said, that's how I want to throw it, and he still uses that unique style, doesn't he?
Yeah, it is a little different, Dick, and I don't know anybody. You're right, the only guy I've ever seen try to throw that way. I've tried it myself. I couldn't do it. To put a finger all the way at the end of the ball and still control it.
But he also said to us too, he said, if I don't put my finger on the end of the ball now, he said, I can't throw a spiral.
They're leading 22-10 with 1.5 minutes left and all timeouts remaining. Hoffman, 5, 10, 14 yards.
What a move that was.
Jerome Henderson made the tackle. It's a hurry-up offense for George. No huddle.
Always a great way to start the hurry-up offense. A draw play, catch the defense off guard, get things moving, get the offense in some rhythm.
George with 9 in a row. 10 to Tim Brown. 10 straight completions, and Brown hauls it in at the Jets 17.
The wind must have stopped blowing. You know what I mean? You did the whole thing on the wind, how it affects them.
Well, this is a case in point. The Jets, they have a defender under, a defender over, but you cannot stop a good throw, a perfect throw, and a good catch.
Ray Mickens was the man underneath. Tim Brown piling up another big day in the first half. Already 6 catches, 91 yards. Draw again. Kaufman. And he smothered at the 15-yard line. And the Raiders will use one of their 3 timeouts. Well, not yet. No, George hasn't used one as yet. And now they get the call from the sidelines, and Kaufman takes the timeout with 48 seconds left in the half.
Well, there's a lot of ways to grip the football in the NFL, and there's reasons why players do it. John Elway, he grips it pretty conventional, puts the fingers on the laces, gives him a little control and power. Warren Moon, pretty much the same grip. And then there's people who do extreme things. Brett Favre, look how big his hand is able to cover a lot of the football. Then Troy Aikman, he wants control, so he gets his fingers way over the laces. A lot of the football, so he can control, and it makes sense. He's the most accurate passer in the league. Then there's Jeff George, the rare exception, finger at the end, all the way down to the small part of the football. What that enables him to do is to really control it, have a lot of whip in his throw, and that's one of the reasons why he can throw the ball so hard and anywhere he wants from any angle because of that grip.
Well, he certainly has used that grip well today. 10 in a row.
What was your grip?
Well, you know, I was a chicken. I wanted control, so I went up on the middle of the ball.
2nd and 7. George to the end zone, and James Jett covered well that time by Aaron Glenn.
Everyone was covered well. I mean, that was just perfect coverage all the way around.
So George's string of completed passes ends at 10.
One thing we talked to Jeff George yesterday, we asked him, do you wait on Tim Brown? Will you sit and wait for him to get open? He says it looks that way because I throw so many balls to him, but he is always open.
Well, of course, and of course the Raiders design a lot of their plays. It's when you got a good player, you design plays for him to get open, put him in good spots. The Raiders do it like the 49ers used to do it for Jerry Rice.
George is looking at Brown to the right. Gets away, and then just a little shovel pass to Ricky Dudley, and the tight end powers his way to the 10-yard line. He'll be short of the first down and bring up 4th down. Lyle and Henderson made the stop. And Joe Bugle, 57-year-old, grew up in the steel mill country around Pittsburgh. Is a big Steelers fan as a kid, sends out the field goal unit.
Jeff George stands right next to the referee, said, do me a favor, when it gets down to 3, would you please blow the whistle. Big job to do out there.
They just let the clock run down, so there's no chance for the Jets. After the field goal try, right there it'll do it.
Yeah.
And that'll allow us to take a quick break. Forward back with a short field goal try when we return. 6-0, and then the second on a 2-point try. The field goals are going to give the Raiders the advantage they want anyway. If Ford is successful here, it'll be a 15-point lead. 27-yard attempt. And he misses this one to the left. That seemed to be out of sync as Ford hooks it sharply left.
Well, what happened is Eric Goose does not get the ball down. Now look at the snap and look at the holder. The ball is down on the ground. He doesn't get it up, and he doesn't turn the laces. And Ford has to hurry it, and when he does, he just hooks the ball. Here it comes. Ball is down on the ground. Well, he does have the laces forward. He does get them forward.
So that's the end of the first half. Jeff George and the Raiders 22-10 the lead. Let's go to Greg.
You hear that right there, circle, 26 yards rushing for the Jets. The Raiders giving up 166, an average of 5.3 per carry. I mean, that tells why this game is the way it is.
And let's go now to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you, Dick. I spoke to both coaches. First, Bill Parcells, he says we're taking a nap. We're sleepwalking out there. I warned the team all week not to let this happen. He said I'm going to try and wake them up with my halftime speech. He says we're not concentrating. With all the speed on this team, we have got to concentrate. Now, as for Joe Bugle, feels his team is dominating the game. Very unhappy with the kicking game. Said we need some better snaps, but we are in very, very good shape, and he's pleased. Dick?
All right, thank you, Jim. Well, so what might have Coach Parcells said to his team?
Well, a lot of things. First, they came off an emotional game up in New England, so it's hard to get your team focused sometimes. Maybe they think they're better than they are, but a couple things. He could have gone in there. I've seen him do it 2 ways. Kick some garbage cans, really get after you verbally. I would think he would say to the Jet players, when are you going to get tired of it? When do you get tired of losing? When are you going to quit making the same mistakes? That's what they did. A turnover, but a lot of really silly things that this team hasn't done the first couple games. Bad penalties, stuff a team that's losing just can't keep doing.
And they're fortunate they're down by only 22-10, 12 points, 2 touchdowns. Jets are within because 2 missed field goals and a missed extra point and a 2-point conversion missed.
Well, that's the one thing that Parcells told us yesterday too, that in every winning team, Phil, is consistency. This team is not consistent. This is what was wrong with the Raiders in their first 3 games, not being consistent.
Well, when you're not a good football team, you're not going to be consistent.
Exactly.
So
the Jets, remember, gave up the opening kickoff. They won the toss to have the wind advantage, so the Raiders get the ball back the second time, and this time John Hall almost kicks it out of the end zone. No chance for Desmond Howard. Jeff George, he certainly won the comparison of quarterbacks in the first half, missing on only 4 passes, 191 yards, and 3 touchdown throws. O'Donnell 6 for 13.
Jeff George now you look at the running backs, what they've done in the first half. Napoleon Kaufman, 110 yards. Adrian Morrell just hadn't had enough attempts.
He hasn't. When you look at a guy gaining Adrian Morrell 4.3 yards a carry, you're only down by 12. Get him back in the ball game.
Well, part of it is the Raiders had the ball 22 minutes and the Jets only 8 minutes of that first half. Kaufman, and he's put in the backfield by Victor Green, number 21, the safety, up to make the tackle. And if there's been a bright spot on defense for the Jets, it's been that man Green.
Victor Green really fights through the block to make the tackle. Here comes Kaufman, because if Green gets to the outside, Tim Brown is trying to block Victor Green. He's behind him, actually clips him. Green stays there and makes the play.
A loss of 2. That's Fenner, the fullback, in motion. And the quick throw to Tim Brown. And Brown has another. Aaron Glenn gets him out of bounds after a gain of around 6.
Well, I was trying to say earlier, I was going to the Jeff George, the first half. He played so well, really got his feet underneath him, really on balance, and that's the reason why he was so consistent throwing the ball and so accurate. In the first 3 games, he's been moving around, not getting his feet set, and he's let the ball get away from him. Today, looks like a different quarterback.
3rd and a long 4. Fired to the sidelines, incomplete to Jet. And the move made by Otis Smith, who almost in position for the interception, but Jet had the ball right in his grasp.
He wanted to go to Brown, but Aaron Glenn made a great play on Brown, so he throws back out to the outside. This is a perfect pass. This ball should have been caught.
Well, 4th down and the punting team on. Leo Aragus from Stephen F. Austin. He was a substitute school teacher in Harlingen, Texas a year ago. Beautiful spiral. Used the recesses, though, to practice his kicking. Leon Johnson, it's at the 33-yard line. And we have a timeout, a minute and a half into the second half, and the Raiders lead it 22-10. Back trailing by 12. The Jets with their hands on the ball for the first time in the second half. Very important opportunity, and that's Jay Haygood, who has replaced Dave Williams at right tackle. Out of the backfield, incomplete to Richie Anderson. Follow the NFL online at NBCSports.com with the week-in, week-out beating quarterbacks are taking. We looked into what it's like to play in pain and how much they can take. Roger Staubach discusses the decision to retire and when injuries took their toll on his career. Plus, vote in our interactive poll. Question is, if you were a QB, which receiver would be your go-to guy with the game on the line? It's all on NBCSports.com. Toss to Morrell. And Adrian Morrell gets out to about the 37-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 5. James Trapp, the tackler. Morrell, who grew up in Hawaii, at least went to high school in Hawaii, actually spent 5 years as a kid, 6 to 10 in Italy. His dad, as we told you, a sergeant in the Army, and he said Tony Dorsett was his hero, and as a senior in high school met Dorsett. He spoke at his banquet there. They did an exercise video. O'Donnell scrambling, and Smith right on his neck all the way, and O'Donnell just quick enough to elude the defensive end's grasp, and a first down at the 47.
10-yard gain. What really helps a quarterback, 5 wide receivers. Look at that. Here's Neil O'Donnell, and there's just nobody in the middle to watch the quarterback. Everybody's trying to look for receivers outside. Neil O'Donnell, once he steps up, good decision, run for the first down.
Throw to Anderson, and Anderson to the Raider 46-yard line. Rob Fredrickson made the tackle.
You know, Phil, the only thing I really am seeing, though, we see the Raiders vertically. They go down the field, and they take big chunks. We've heard this before by other teams. But everything that O'Donnell and the Jets are trying to do, like 3- and 4-yard patterns.
You know why? Because he's been sacked 15 times in the last 2 weeks. It has a way of making the offense and coaches
shorten everything up.
Yeah, they want to get rid of that ball a little faster.
Graham in motion. Play action. No one there, and the flag goes down. It's going to be a late hit against Lance Johnstone. Chester McLaughlin and Johnstone in on O'Donnell. But I believe it was Johnstone that got him.
Well, first off, I hate to play.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 51, 15 yards, first down.
When I say I hate to play, you run this, the quarterback, it's what they call a naked bootleg. There's nobody there to protect him. You're worried about your quarterback getting hit too much against a team that likes to rush the passer. And really, you're out there like that, I would not call that a penalty.
Well, how about the holding right here on just Chester McLaughlin? They got him by the shirt, and they're pulling him down. They don't call that. Neil O'Donnell is throwing the ball away, and he's running into the linebacker defensive end. I think it's a bad call.
Hago did have a handful of McLaughlin. Out of the backfield to Morrell, and Morrell wrestled down firmly by Mike Morton, linebacker from North Carolina. Now moved into the starting lineup. The Raiders have self-destructed in recent years past, as you can see. Number 1 in 93 in penalties per game. Same in 94, only second in 95, again first in 96, and thus far this year third, but so far Graham incomplete, broken up by James Trapp. 3 penalties today for the Raiders.
Broken up by James Trapp.
Well, this is a great play by Trapp, but also it's a bad throw by O'Donnell. This ball is thrown behind. I think Graham, if he leads Graham's got a touchdown. You see, Graham almost has to stop to go up in the air, which enables Trapp to get back and make the play.
It took it too long for it to come open. Neil O'Donnell broke down the pocket, starts moving up. Paul, it's hard to throw the ball accurately across the field when you're moving as a quarterback.
It's also kind of hard to throw when guys are running at you.
Jets go with 4 wide receivers. No tight end this time. That's Corbett moving into the backfield. O'Donnell throwing for Corbett, incomplete. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Anthony Smith got a piece of it. And on comes the field goal unit.
Well, this is a play we saw earlier where Wayne Corbett got wide open at the end of the first half, but this time the defense was ready for it. The interior defensive linemen do a good job of watching the quarterback. When he's ready to throw, jump.
Well, that's what when they always say about a lineman or whatever, his vertical jump is such and such. Well, that time you see Anthony Smith get up in the air in the vertical jump.
So a long field goal attempt by John Hall. Appears to be just inside 48. And he's got plenty of leg. John Hall connects. 47-yard field goal, and with 4 minutes gone in the third quarter, the Raiders lead reduced to 22-13. Bill Sims, Paul McGuire, Jim Gray, Dick Enberg back at the Meadowlands. The Jets strike first here in the third quarter on a 47-yard John Hall field goal. Joe Bugle's team in the lead, 22-13. Desmond Howard and Tim Hall deep. There's John Hall, not related. Sends a very high end-over-end kick to Howard, a yard into the end zone. And Howard is brought down at the 12-yard line. Good coverage this time by the Jets, and it was Van Dyke, Alex Van Dyke, from Nevada, who makes the play along with Ray Mickens. Well, Joe Bugle, we asked him, of course, he was the assistant coach under Joe Gibbs in their Super Bowl years. So what you learned from Joe, he said, well, one, relentless as a worker. Two, what a game day coach and a sideline coach. And three, he knew how to handle John Riggins.
I didn't talk to him. So how did he handle John Riggins? Well, he never talked to him for 2 years. That's the way to handle it.
Yeah, the way you understand each other all the time.
Jeff George as the crowd trying to help the Jets defense. Oh my, what a block, and Jet has the catch. Otis Smith makes the tackle.
Napoleon Kaufman on that block.
Oh, a cartwheel block.
Well, if you're a running back in the NFL, you have to pick up blitzing linebackers, and Napoleon Kaufman does a good job of protecting Jeff George this time. Pepper Johnson coming through full speed. Somersault.
I don't think Pepper saw him. Kaufman got down low. He was real low.
He'll be looking for him next time, though.
9 yards on the catch. Kaufman out to the first down at the 24-yard line. Victor Green, another tackle for Green, the safety man. As the other scores roll by, and Green Bay, after giving up the first 7 points, in command of their game with the Vikings. Baltimore has come from behind against the Oilers.
Well, the Jets defensively had a couple things they have not done. One, stop the run, and number two, get to Jeff George. They sacked him twice, but he's still thrown for almost 200 yards.
It's over 200. Stop the pass either.
No, they haven't stopped anything.
Kaufman down in the backfield. Good penetration by the Jets defense. Ernie Logan and Rick Lyle, two of the frontmen in that 3-4 alignment into the backfield.
You can see the Jet defense is just being more aggressive up front, attacking the line of scrimmage. And that's one way to stop the running game. Just send somebody in every gap. That way Napoleon Kaufman can't stop, cut back, find an open hole.
Second down, 10.5. Fenner moving forward, then stops himself. Blitz on and incomplete to Jet. Covered by Smith, but the pressure on George, he had to unload Jerome Henderson on a safety blitz.
What's a safety blitz by the Jets? Henderson up top. Good job by the receiver, Tim Brown, reading it. Breaks off the route, but Jeff George does not have enough time to get his feet underneath him to make an accurate throw.
3rd and 11.
Yeah, but you keep blitzing this team that many times, and with his arm and with the speed that they have to the outside,
well,
they will get the big one.
The Jets had to change their game plan, Paul, because you have to. The other one wasn't working, so you got to make a change. You got to be more aggressive, get after the quarterback.
Flag down, delay a game against Jeff George. Didn't get the snap off in time, and that'll cost. They're down 16. Lots of time. Now he throws underneath to Shed. Breaks one tackle and another. Fights to the 30. He's 5 yards short of a first down. Marvin Jones brought him to the carpet.
You take a look at Shed now. Watch where he starts on the field. He comes all the way across the field, sits down, and Jeff George sees him there. And the play does not pick up a first down. He was actually looking for Jet going down the field. But I think Jet was gone so fast, it was one of those deals. The only thing I can do is underthrow him. I can't overthrow him.
Shed's catch not enough for the first down. It's 4th and 5. Leon Johnson at the 27. Aragoose. Ball fluttering in the wind, and Johnson takes a chance and brings it to the 32-yard line. A flag down back at the line of scrimmage. Biekert, starting middle backer, made the tackle, and Holdings the call against the Jets. Yeah, let's see when this took place. If it's before the punt, then a first down for the Raiders.
Automatic first down.
We're looking at his lips. Does he say stupid a lot?
Yeah, it's one of his favorite words.
Stupid.
Holding on the receiving team during the punt, number 92. 10-yard penalty. First down.
It is stupid play.
So during the punt, so the Jets will be penalized, but at least maintain possession of the ball. 22-13 Oakland. Here is the head coach, Giants. New England, he learned that, stupid. You know, you had to practice that, and he's had a lot of opportunities. It goes back to the preseason. He gets himself in the mood in the summer games. O'Donnell. Ooh, almost another stupid call. Well, let's go back to the preseason. Bill?
Stupid.
Slip in the end zone, leave it in.
Stupid.
You can't do it when you slip.
Stupid. Well, that's 2 stupid plays we've made in about the first 5 minutes. Anderson.
He's in there.
Okay, all right, relax. That's what loses. That's why you won in 15, Baxter, right there. No, that's right.
You love him.
2nd and 10 for O'Donnell. Caught from behind, but able to dump it off to Morrell. What a move by Adrian Morrell. That is some fancy running. Oh, my.
Mike Morton, they will out. You talk about razzing a guy. You talk about getting razzed in a film. Number 50 for the Oakland Raiders, Mike Morton. Watch what Morrell does to him. And this is embarrassing. Here it is. The throw, and here comes Mike. Watch it. No. Fall down. What a great run.
A gain of 12 by Adrian Morrell when he should have been tackled for no gain. Terrific effort. Raiders lead 22-13. 7 minutes left in the third. O'Donnell screens it incomplete. Morrell unable to get to the screen pass. He wouldn't have gone for much anyway.
The reason he couldn't is because
Russell, Maryland. Offensive linemen are in too big of a hurry to get out in the screen and help the runner out. They forget to block the defensive lineman. They let them go too fast. The defensive lineman get in and interrupt the play.
2nd down and 10. Leon Johnson now in the backfield. O'Donnell goes down the middle. Caught by Jeff Graham on a first down at the Raider 49. Dan Land made the tackle.
Boy, good play action fakes by the offensive line and Neil O'Donnell. That enables Jeff Graham, number 81, to get down the field and find that open spot in a zone defense, which a lot of times is right down the middle.
And it all starts with protection for the quarterback. When you have time to throw the ball, you can find the people that are open.
So trailing by 9. O'Donnell goes to work at the Raider 49. Hand off and hit the backfield and fumbled, and Morrell gets it back. Chester McLaughlin invaded the Jets backfield, almost took the handoff.
Boy, he did. He almost had the handoff. Watch big Chester McLaughlin. Look at they try to block down on him, and it doesn't work. He's got his hand in there, strips the ball away. What a terrific play.
Richie Anderson it was who recovered his own fumble. Chester McLaughlin has to rate with just a small handful of top defensive inside men. Tackles.
Wait, you see 230? 230?
By 340. O'Donnell screen to Morrell. And it didn't work this time either. This time Anthony Smith was just waiting for it.
Well, when the last time they ran this play, Dick, they kind of had, it looked like they were going to have it kicked out and sealed from the inside. It was going to be good. But Anthony Smith, number 94, hey, if you just showed him the play a couple plays before, he remembers, does a good job of reacting.
I like that. Don't try to run the same play twice at the same spot. If it didn't work the first time, what makes you think it's going to work the second time?
They're not as dumb as they think. So they remember these things.
Last 2 plays have gone for -5 and -6. 3rd and 21. O'Donnell. The sidelines. Completes to Quebec. Who's out to the 50, but that's well short of the first down, and brings up 4th and 11. Curry Carter, extra defensive back, made the tackle. Time for 45 left in the 3rd period.
Well, you can see the difference in the defensive line of the Oakland Raiders. Before, they were really tentative about screens and draws and all those things, but they told the defensive lineman, go to the quarterback and just react to everything else that happens, and they're doing that very well.
Ryan Hansen. Oh, it's a fake and wide open. Corwin Brown, a defensive back to the Parcells at New England last year. And Cornflakes Brown gets a little more than breakfast on that one.
Well, watch Corwin Brown. He's going to fake like he's going to block. He makes the defender think, okay, I got this guy occupied. Nobody outside on containment. Good job by Corwin Brown selling the play, finding that little open spot, and good blocking down the field.
Looked like Ray Mickens, who threw a solid block. That could be a very big play with 3:45 left in the third. Down by 9 and a first down inside the 25 of the Raiders. O'Donnell to the sidelines, complete to Johnson. Tried to make a move and just attracted more defensive company. Morton and Lionel Washington at the 20. A gain of a little more than 4. There's Corwin Brown. That's got to be a thrill. There's something that coaches picked up in their scouting of films and saw that the Raiders did something that allowed that play to work.
And Corwin Brown is the type of player that Bill Parcells would trust in these type of situations. Had him in New England. He brought him down here for the Jets because he is a great special teams player in all aspects. Does it on kickoff returns, everything.
O'Donnell scrambling and has to throw it away. Well covered on the side was Richie Anderson. Russell, Maryland, was in on top of O'Donnell.
And you're right, Dick. To run those plays, the special teams coach has to sell it to the head coach. So I can just see him in there all week. It'll work, Bill, I'm sure. Because it better work. Because if it didn't, he would be hearing about it all during the week, and especially today.
Chester McLaughlin's limping off just a little bit on this after this last play, but the defensive line of the Oakland Raiders, and really they're putting an awful lot of pressure on this offensive line. They're taking the offensive line back to the quarterback.
Corbett and Van Dyke to the right. Graham is to the left along with Johnson. Draw play, Leon Johnson, and Johnson to the 10, first down. There's a good call as they spread it out with wide receivers and give to Leon Johnson, who is only 47 yards rushing in the first 3 games.
It's a blitz outside by the Raiders. Nobody in the middle to account for the running back. Good blocking by the offensive lineman. Leon Johnson takes advantage of it.
Boy, it's nice when you see the guard, the center, and the other guard. And all they do is turn out. And when they turn out, the hole is already there.
First and goal just inside the 10. O'Donnell runs it and slides down at the 7. Greg Townsend, the veteran, on a comeback after being out of football for 2 years, makes the tackle. There's Townsend, who Pro Bowler in 90 and 91, didn't play in 95 and 96, and now back. He has 109.5 career sacks, and at age 35 given another chance by Al Davis. Second and goal from the 7. Graham to the right, Johnson left. Well read by Greg Beaker, who filled the hole. Loss of a couple.
Yeah, you know, they tried a screen twice. They tried it one play, it didn't work, and then they threw another play, and then they tried another screen, it didn't work. Then they ran a couple of draws going down on this drive, and they worked. It doesn't work all the time, you know. they get, as you say, they get a little smarter, the defense, as you go along.
Corwin Brown, who's run on the fake field goal. Has possession. O'Donnell from the 9. Third and goal. The throw. Incomplete. Tried to throw to the top of the Raiders to the leaping Jeff Graham unsuccessfully. Well, the field goal nevertheless would put the Jets within 6. So Parcells certainly going to not flirt with another fake here. Or
well, we would think not, but that last play, Neil O'Donnell had to throw it away. Lionel Washington, he's seen a lot of moves down in that end zone. That time didn't go for the fake inside, stayed outside. Nowhere for Neil O'Donnell to throw the football.
There'll be a 25-yard field goal. And it's a 22-16 game. Couple of John Hall field goals, 47 and 25 yards. Corwin Brown pleased that he contributed, and we have 55 seconds left in the third. Play one of the offensive linemen, family of 13 children in American Samoa.
Are you ready for this? Every single one of them, all 13, are nicknamed Jack.
Middle name.
Oh, middle name.
name.
Jack. Hey, Jack. Hey, Jack, you get 13.
You'd like a family like that. You call everybody
Well,
Jack.
I call Phil Jack.
Now, Paul only says that when he gets mad. He gets all upset. He goes, hey, Jack.
13 Jacks.
You never get mad at me, though, Paul.
There are some sisters in there, too, right?
Right. Yeah, the sisters get a middle name Jack, too.
I love it.
So, John Hall has it teed up. Desmond Howard and Tim Hall at the other end. Oh, when he hits it, he can really drive it. Not only long, but high, out of the end zone. Raiders will have it with just seconds left in the third, leading by 6. Offensively, Ray Perkins, offensive coordinator. At Alabama, his quarterbacks were Joe Namath, Steve Sloan, and Ken Stabler. How's that?
Not bad. Catch a few passes from those guys.
Jeff George throws underneath to Brown, and Brown open again. First down at the 34. Pickup of 14. Jerome Henderson, the tackler.
Same play they opened the game up with. Jeff George, little fake run, tosses it. Tim Brown coming all the way across the field, and look where the linebackers are. Nobody underneath him. Gives Jeff George a clear lane, can throw the ball right in there.
You're going to have to blitz him if you're going to put some pressure on George. You're not going to do it with the 3-down lineman.
Could be the final play of the third quarter. 8 catches for Brown. Ooh, George had trouble with a snap, but gets it off to Kaufman, who gets to the 36-yard line. That will be the end of the third period. Bobby Hamilton in on the tackle. George with problems handling that snap, but no fumble. Second. Ooh. It's 22-16. Back after these messages and a word from your local station. 22-16. Oakland leading the Jets here at the Meadowlands on 2nd and 8. And George goes down at the 27. The third Jet sack. Mo Lewis. Jets with only 2 sacks in the first 3 games have 3 today against George.
Well, you have Mo Lewis up top against Napoleon Kaufman. That's a matchup the New York Jets like. A blitz by the Jets just overpowers him.
Wow.
Lewis, big play.
But I just said you're not going to get to Jeff George unless you blitz him. You got to send more than 3 people.
9-yard loss. Third down, 16. George down the middle. Caught by Jet. James Jet. Will they catch him? Just in time. Victor Green gets him out of bounds inside the 20. 53 yards for Jet.
I'm going to tell you what, this is unbelievable how wide open Jet gets.
Well, he's wide open because it takes so long. Look at James Jet, number 82. Look how long he's out there. He runs. Just a bad job of the Jets taking bad angles to the receiver. Jeff George did a good job buying himself some time, stepping up in the pocket, and letting receiver get open down the field.
But the one thing about this offensive line, you brought it up a lot of times. This offensive line enables him to find lanes.
From the 19-yard line, Kaufman to the 16. It'll be 2nd and 7.
I think that last play really illustrated what Jeff George has done in his 4 games this year. He looked a little uneasy in the pocket, moving around when he didn't have to. Today he looks more confident, calmer, and I think that's one of the big reasons why he's accurate and seeing those receivers down the field.
But that comes with having confidence in your offensive line, Phil, and knowing that these guys up in front are going to block it. And when I say give him a lane, what I meant by that is that Jeff George knows where he's going to throw the ball. He has the lanes to see downfield.
Jet now with 4 catches and 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tim Brown in motion. And now time called, I believe, by the Jets. There appear to be plenty of confusion, or will it be on the Raiders? No, it'll be George. Jeff George didn't like what he sees. Timeout, 13 minutes plus remaining in the 4th.
Going to blitz. Jeff George sees it. He says, no, stay out there. I want to check out of the play. The Jets say, okay, we'll check out of the defense. Quarterback has to call a timeout.
2nd down, 7. George to the end zone. Almost intercepted. Aaron Glenn, who is the best of the cornerbacks for the Jets, is there to make the pick.
Aaron Glenn in good position. Jeff George relying on the arm a little too much. Double move, and then right in front of the receiver. But Tim Brown does a good thing, sticks that left hand back inside, make sure the defender doesn't intercept the pass.
To tell the experience of Aaron Glenn is here, he doesn't take that first move. He just sits back in that corner and wait on it. Make all the moves you want, but you're going to eventually come to me.
Big third down. And the throw for Jet off his left hand. And it was Otis Smith on the coverage. So the field goal unit on for Al Davis's Oakland Raiders. And you could see Al's reaction. He wanted another 6.
Well, the way they've been kicking on field goals and extra points, it's an adventure today.
Cole Ford, who has missed 2 field goal attempts from 34 and from 27, and he's made from 43. This one will be 35. Snap again, and it's blocked. Picked off. Could go all the way. Ray Mickens. Mickens at the 40, and he won't be caught. The Jets have tied the game. It appeared to be Corwin Brown or Aaron Glenn who blocked it, and Ray Mickens got the kind bounce, and the game is tied at 22. And with the extra point, the Jets have a chance for the lead. Mickens goes 72 yards with a blocked field goal.
Again, every kick so far has been an adventure. That time the ball was on the ground. I will venture to say one thing. Leo Aragouz next week will not be the holder on his football team. They will find someone else that can hold the ball.
Now for the lead. Hall. 23-22 Jets. As the Jets have scored 13 unanswered points in the second half.
Special teams play such a role in football games. The Jets being outplayed in just about every phase today. But the special teams, watch the snap.
There's nothing wrong with the snap. The snap is there. He just doesn't get his hands in front of the ball to catch the ball perfectly. And then he fumbles the ball, putting it down on the ground. And when he does that, now look at the defensive line. They get pressure. The ball is low. I blame it on the holder. And an excellent play by the defense.
Corwin Brown did block it. Last time the Jets blocked a field goal, Bill Packel, who was a Raider at one time, blocked it in '93. And Bill Parcells, you got to win with all your teams, and special teams. That's a go play, not a stupid play. That's a go.
Right. And you, like a coach, you see what he was doing. He was looking back. Are there any flags? No flags.
Field goal. We saw that dagger in his heart of that heartbreaking loss against Kansas City. Howard boggles, and he's brought down shy of the 15. Raymond Austin, and the momentum has taken a big turn to the Jets side. Well, you can see the mood on the Raiders side of the field. They have missed 2 field goals, 3 of them, then on the third one blocked. They've missed an extra point. That would be 11 points. And then they've just given up 7 on the block field goal. So an 18-point swing off the kicking game as the Jets lead for the first time today, 23-22. 12 minutes plus left in this fourth quarter as George goes downfield to Tim Brown. Well, that just seems automatic. Brown all alone again. Jerome Henderson made the tackle. Well, here are those missed opportunities. That's the first field goal attempt by Cole Ford. Went left, then he misses right with the extra point. Then at the end of the half, hooks one wide left, and now the blocked field goal. What a bounce to Mickens. 73 yards later, the Jets lead it 23-22. Meanwhile, Jeff George, first down as he's improved his field position, dumps it in the flat, almost intercepted. Intended for Dudley, and James Ferrier The linebacker diving in front of the receiver.
Well, they are trying to get it to Dudley, and the blitz is on it. And here's the ball with absolutely no speed on it at all. They're trying to get it out. They should never throw this ball.
Well, he's looking to go down the field. There's nobody open down the field than Jeff George. Quarterbacks, when you get in trouble, he's looking for that short receiver. He panics, doesn't really see the coverage outside. It's almost an interception by James Ferrier, number 58.
See how quickly that young linebacker from Virginia closed on the ball. Into the flat to Kaufman. He juggles and then squeezes it and has the first down at the Jets' 48-yard line. Jerome Henderson made the play.
Dick, this is like a running play. You see the guards blocked down and people are moving in a line. It looks strictly run. Take a look at the offensive line. Watch these guys block down as if it's a running play. And then Napoleon Coffey, you see him blocked there. The guard pulls out. Napoleon Coffey comes out in the flat. There's nobody on him.
The guard pulls out, makes James Ferrier close down inside, gives Jeff George the lane to throw the football.
Now George quickly gets his team into Jets territory at the 49. Gets this one just away in time. Derek Fenner. But it was Mo Lewis, who is a solid linebacker, one of the best in the league, who put pressure on George.
Didn't you ask Kaufman yesterday if he could block? And he said, yes, I can. Well, look at this. No, you can't.
Well, that really wasn't his fault. He was protecting from inside to out. Jeff George, I think, went a little deep on the drop. Bad angle for Napoleon Kaufman.
George hurried 5 times, knocked down 4, sacked 3 times, and yet look at those numbers: 325 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. On second down, he's in trouble again. Flag down, however, as Ferrier makes the tackle, and then he picks up the flag.
No, Dick, I'll tell you that it looked like there's confetti out on the field, and it's almost the same color. When it rolls up, it looks like a flag.
Watch James Ferrier, the rookie from Virginia. One thing he has is some speed and the ability to get in the backfield, make some plays behind the line of scrimmage, what the Jets can't do.
Sacks per game. This is the entire National Football League. The last 4 years, the number of sacks per game has increased. Why?
Well, offense is spreading out, sending everybody out for the passes, and also they're throwing the football more, so there should be more sacks.
3rd and 22, looking for Brown. Still looking for him. Down the middle, it goes to Shed. And then drill. Kenny Shed. Was he hit by Marvin Jones? Short of the first down, and the Raider punting team on.
Well, Jeff George is just trying to dump this ball. He sees Shed because everybody else downfield is covered, and when he throws it to Shed, I mean, Shed's going to go back and huddle. So please don't ever do this again, because number 55, Marvin Lewis, is almost about to kill him. Here comes the pass. Here comes the hit. Bam, bam. That's easy.
Shed did a good job of holding on to the ball. Marvin Jones, who played his college ball with the Seminoles. Young linebacker, always with a reputation of being a big hitter. Aragoose with Leon Johnson back at the Jets 10. Whoa, close to another block. Johnson lets it go, and it kicks into the end zone for the touchback. Corwin Brown was in on the punter that time. Timeout, 10 minutes left.
You promised Phil and I shirts. You're right,
Everyone's worried about the cup.
No, we're going to watch you every day, but I want shirts.
Free shirts, right, Paul?
Free
there
shirts.
You go.
The Jets with a lead, 23-22. O'Donnell just does get it off. Complete to Morrell, but a flag is down, and we could see a hold. Eric Turner made the tackle.
Well, Jay Haygood pulled down Chester McLaughlin by the arm. I mean, when you're way out in the middle of nowhere, you're going to get caught. Look at Chester. He's standing down there on the 10-yard line waiting.
Offense, number 77, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. First down.
It was a nice takedown, though. I saw this with the Hulk Hogan. Watch this shot here. Haygood, 77-91. Here comes the takedown. Ready? Boom.
Face mask.
And, and takedown. Beautiful. Body slam.
You know, I was wondering how he pulled him down so easy, really. I was up there watching it. He had a hold of that face mask and down.
Haygood, a free agent pick this year by Parcells and the Jets out of Virginia Tech. First down, 20. Draw. And Morrell has great acceleration. Is out to the 16, and we go to New York. Thanks, Greg. as the Kansas City Chiefs try to jump out 3-1 after losing their opener at Denver. Second down and long, and O'Donnell goes long for Keyshawn Johnson, and it's batted away. Eric Turner got a hand on it, almost knocked it back to Johnson.
Well, it's a good job by Eric Turner, number 42. He reads the quarterback all the way. This ball never had a chance of being complete.
I want to follow up on the two cornerbacks with Terry McDaniel injured. Lionel Washington and Albert Lewis both will be 37 next month. Between them, they have played in 399 NFL games. This is the 200th for Lewis, 199 for Washington. And there's Willie Brown, who played until he was 38. He's their coach, of course, the Hall of Famer. Third down. Corbett has a first down at the 36-yard line. Morton ran him out of bounds. And what a third down receiver this young man is. 19 on the play.
Well, Wayne Corbett, the Raiders said he loves to go across the field on third down. This time he does. He's in the inside receiver. He just runs past the coverage. Neil O'Donnell steps up, finds him all the way across the formation.
You know, it's amazing. The Raiders told us yesterday, third down, they're going to throw the ball to Corbett.
Yeah. Number 80, because his idol as a kid was Steve Largent, who wore that number with Seattle. Morrell, nothing there at the 35, loses a yard. Big sports fan is Corbett. He was talking with us yesterday. He had on a Yankee hat, and he had a Yankee jersey with number 7 on. His dad's a big baseball fan, and Mickey Mantle was his hero.
For those of you that didn't hear it the first time, Dick told us earlier, he got a $1,500 bonus when he signed with the Jets. $1,500 bucks.
But I like what Bill Parcells said about him more. He says this is not an underdog story anymore. This guy is a good receiver in the NFL.
On cue, it's Corbett, close to a first down at the 46. Well, everyone thinks he's small and slow, but when you watch him in practice field, that is not the case, at least the speed part.
Well, I was out.
Is his first 2 years. How could Keyshawn Johnson not like him? Morrell, and the Raiders stack it up, and he may have fumbled. They're ruling the play dead. Play dead. No first down.
I'll tell you, I don't like this play. Now, you know, Neil O'Donnell is not the fastest guy in the world, but when you only have half a football to go, the shortest distance is straight ahead. And when you make a handoff to the outside like this play does, it takes too long. You're coming back to the runner to give him the ball. 4 yards in the backfield. He has no chance to get to the line of scrimmage.
Lance Johnstone, a defensive end, was in the backfield to hit him before he hit the line, and so Brian Hansen called upon to punt into the wind. And dangerous Desmond Howard back at the Raider 10.
Would he dare fake again?
Howard, fair catch at the 16-17 yard line. 6:39 left in the fourth. It's the Jets by 1. Game summary with the numbers belonging to Jeff George, not Neil O'Donnell. 333 yards plus, over 100 yards from his running back Napoleon Kaufman. What's been unexpected is the missed field goals, 3 of them by the Raiders, 1 block for a touchdown. And that's the difference in the game at the moment, as Corwin Brown blocked the field goal of Ford, and Ray Mickens picked it up and ran it 72 yards for the touchdown. So unexpected, all the yards. What can you say wrong about the Oakland offense? It's been the kicking game.
You know, you come in here and they have the worst defense in the NFL, the Oakland Raiders, and they're not worried about anything else. They're worried about their defense, and then it's 3 things that make a football game: offense, defense, and special teams.
Second and short. Kaufman to the 30-yard line on the first down. Victor Green with a tackle. Time for an update. We go to Greg Gumbel.
All right, Dick, in Memphis, Vinny Testaverde having a whale of a day. This is his 3rd touchdown pass, 16 yards to Jermaine Lewis. He's thrown for more than 300 today. And Baltimore, which was 0-8 on the road last year, threatening to win its 2nd straight away from home. They lead 33-10, Dick.
Well, the Ravens trying to go 3-1 in the Central Division. George, complete. And And James Jett was a half step away from turning on the burners again. 19 more yards for Jett. Victor Green was still another tackle for the Jets.
Well, James Jett covered by Otis Smith. If you've been beaten a few times deep, you give a big cushion. Otis Smith has to do that. Play action fake. Nobody can get underneath to help Otis Smith out, and Jeff George delivers a strike.
I saw James Jett as the fastest man, Dick, and when you see him catch a ball like that, after his first step, he's full speed.
5 catches today. He had only 4 total the first 3 games. George underneath. Juggling catch, Tim Brown. Another first down at the 37.
You want to know why Tim Brown is so good? Well, I mean, he's got great hands and speed and all the other things that happen. But it's what he does with the ball after he catches it. And the most important thing is when he throws the ball, he makes sure he catches it. He bobbles it. Now he's got it. Watch this move. He makes another move and makes Pepper Johnson, the linebacker, miss him to pick up another 6 yards. That's Tim Brown.
Brown, another bold print game. 10 catches, 153 yards and a touchdown. First down for George. Play action to Kaufman. All day to throw, and now he finally throws it away. Kaufman in the area.
Jim Plunkett.
But George is 3 now. He was number 1 at Atlanta, well, in some ways. Fake to Fenner. Goes long. Brown, and it's too long. Covered. Ferrier was the man putting pressure on George and Victor Green. It's like an echo every play we're mentioning Victor Green's name.
Yeah, Victor Green everywhere. I think the Raiders, they're trying to fake a screen to sneak Tim Brown deep. The Jet defense does a good job of not falling for the fake.
Big play for the Raiders. 3rd and 10, trailing by 1. As the numbers for George continue to be very impressive. He's working on a possible 400-yard game.
Well, a couple yards here and a pickup would give him a fairly easy field goal try because the wind is behind them.
Maybe that's the Jets' philosophy to lure them into another field goal attempt.
That's right.
100-yard passer, Dan Marino, 6 years ago. 3rd and 10. Kaufman on the draw. He's not quite there for the first down, but he's to the 29, maybe the 28. It'll be 4th down in about a yard and a half. Marvin Jones saved the first down, and now the call by Bugle with Ray Perkins upstairs. Now remember, the Raiders have used 2 of their timeouts in this half.
So Bugle is what he's saying is, I want a measurement. And I guess you can call for a measurement anytime you want to slow the clock to make a decision.
Yeah, he wants to stall this so he can think about what to do.
I mean, you got a holder that hasn't, Aragus has not held the ball very well. A center that, you know, is getting it a little bit low, but I blame more on the holder. And then you've got a kicker that's hitting the ball low. Now they're going to kick the field goal.
That's why I think they ran the draw play to put themselves in this, one, to catch the Jet defense by surprise, but pick up a few yards to give themselves a chance to kick this field goal.
And this is the only decision to make, because when we talk to like Parcells was talking about last week's game in New England, the one thing that a head coach's job is to do is to put your team in a position to win. Now, a week ago, Bill Parcells did it, and his field goal kicker got slammed shut. Now, when you take a look at this here, I mean, here is the situation. I mean, everybody's booing because they have timeout or taking timeout to measure this thing and didn't have to. But you're going to put your team in a position to win the football game. Your defense is playing pretty well. All you got to do now is make a field goal.
And it's 47 yards, 1 for 4 today, 1 block for a touchdown, a chance for amends. It's up, but it is no good. Wide to the right. 1 for 5 is Cole Ford. And the Raiders today, a little push and shove afterwards, but nothing serious.
A missed field goal by Rule, returned to the spot of the attempt. First down, New York.
So, talked about them in the pregame show, passer, kicker. They make you think. Morrell, what a move! And Adrian Morrell protecting the ball and staying inbounds. He knows the Raiders have only 1 timeout left, plus the 2-minute warning. 20 yards on the run. Let's go back to the field goal attempt. Aragos. And I guess he had a towel there and just kind of throw it in there. I don't know if that's going to discourage many football players. But
what is that? If don't bother me, I'll hit you with my towel.
Yeah. You kickers.
So I played as a linebacker. Don't put me in that category.
Morrell again. And he's got another dozen. With 2:40 left. And now Bill Parcells' team is moving into field goal range.
What the Raiders in this situation, your defense has played pretty well against the run. You know the Jets are trying to run the clock out. Why are you rushing up the field, trying to make a play in the backfield? Stand in there, stop the run, put the Jets in a passing situation. Because that's the only way they're going to throw it now when they get in a passing situation.
Linebackers on the outside, Phil, you're absolutely right. They have one job, and that's to stay home.
Probably another run that'll take it to the 2-minute warning. And they give to Morrell again, and Morrell is smothered this time after a 2-yard gain as Mike Morton led the charge, and we're at the 2-minute timeout. Jets 23, Raiders 22. You're watching the NFL on NBC.
George, they have Sprint's easy-to-use products.
And the know-how of Radio Shack.
They even showed Astro how to use his mobile phone.
They could even help you, Mr. J.
Dallas Cowboys own the NFL record 14 in a row. That was the last year of Tom Landry, first year of Jimmy Johnson.
Well, you talk about all the different things that Bill Parcells brings to a team. What he brought to New England was a winner, and what he's doing here. But you know when you look at his football teams, and you played for him, Phil, they don't quit. They never quit. Well, you're not going to face him and quit. You quit, you better get out of here.
2 minutes left. Raiders one timeout. Morrell. No gain. 3rd down and 9.
They won't take the well. They're going to take a timeout. I wouldn't take the timeout until after the next play, but they're taking it now.
What difference does it make?
Well, I'll tell you why it does make a difference, because if after the third down play, they're either going to have to kick a field goal, which they probably would, or whatever. But I mean, to do it now, they can run a play and run as much clock off as they want, and still take a penalty.
But with a 3rd down 9, you call a time here. Maybe the Jets feel they have to pass, incomplete pass. That stops the clock for you. And then you'd have to kick the field goal. Then you've got a lot of time to come down and score.
I'll bet you $100 to a donut they don't throw the ball.
Well, I get those donuts every time. That's all you ever pay off.
Well, I don't know. I think passing the football has got to be a big possibility here, because I don't think Bill Parcells is going to want to run, not get a gain. What do you do then? Do you punt, or you try a long field goal from that space? I think you'd have to punt.
They're into the win here with a ball at the 30, so it'd be a 47-yard field goal into the win at the moment. Screen pass to Anderson, and it breaks the tackle. And then he's knocked out of bounds. No, they're going to say he stayed in bounds and was pushed out after the whistle, and so the clock runs. Mike Morton made the play, so the Jets can be very casual about whatever they do on 4th down and 7.
Well, they say what are coaches paid for? Right here is one of the reasons. What decision? Bill's thinking about what to do. Do you try the field goal?
He says take it down to 1 second and then call timeout.
Boy, the Raiders, what kind of season this has been. They lose by 3 to Tennessee. They lose that incredible game to Kansas City by 1. They win last week by 5. And now here they are in a 1-point game, their 4th game of the season.
You know what's amazing is at one point in time when Phil said it back early, they should have been up like 21 points, the Raiders, at one time. Or could have been up by 21 points at one time. With this game totally out of reach.
Reminder, with the excitement here in game 1, we've got a doubleheader for you on NBC and most of these NBC stations. Game 2, John Elway in Denver against
Self in a position where they can block it and go. They already found out what happened before.
Plus, if you miss, the Raiders would get it out at the 35-yard line.
Don't jump off sides.
Dumps it off to Morrell. First down. And out of bounds inside the 15. O'Donnell down as he threw the ball.
A couple times today, Neil O'Donnell has been in trouble. Nowhere to go with the football. wonderful presence, knowing where his players are, and he knows he's in trouble. Adrian, you take it.
Morrell, who
you talk about heads up, that is just total heads up play by the Jets.
How about Morrell? He was stymied. He didn't do much the entire game, less than 40 yards. And on this drive, he has something like 47 yards running and receiving. And now it's just a matter of kneeling down. Less than a minute to go. No timeouts left for the Raiders. What an incredible game. The Jets see 4 missed field goals. One of them blocked for a 72-yard touchdown scored by Ray Mickens. Outplayed, certainly, this game by the Raiders, but the Jets, as you've said many times, Phil, Bill Parcells says on Monday, what do we get, a W or an L? All the rest doesn't matter.
Well, a lot of people are going to say, well, you didn't deserve this win, and well, he says they didn't deserve to lose last week either. So that's all that matters, Dick. Nobody talks about it. A couple days from now, they just want to know, did you win or did you lose?
And in the meantime, Joe Bugle and the Raiders have to be the best 1-3 team in the NFL. Have to be.
Well, it makes you understand what people are talking about now. That to win a football game in the National Football League, all 3 systems have to work. The offense, the defense, and the special teams. Defensively and offensively, the Raiders did it. Special teams-wise, they lost the game.
Well, Bill talked about the fragile nature of the coaching staff, the players, the entire organization, that wins will cure that. He thought he should have had a very big victory at New England last week. And this week, he manages somehow to leave with a 23-22 win. And Joe Bugle, boy, they better have a psychiatrist ready for Joe. This has been a tough first 4 games of his head coaching career.
Well, he did a good job of rallying his team after the tough defeat on Monday night, getting them emotionally ready to play last week. Now he's going to have to do the whole thing over again. Somehow he's got to convince his players what he's saying is going to help him win football games. He's got a tough week ahead.
It's going to be so easy for Bill Parcells, because he says, see, if you stay with it, here's what's going to happen. And all good things happen if you stay with it. And they did.
And bad things happen with it. Bill Parcells has seen the home losing streak end at 13 with a 23-22 win over the Oakland Raiders. And now stay tuned for game 2 of our doubleheader. Most of you will see John Elway and the Denver Broncos, undefeated, face the Cincinnati Bengals. Others, the Colts against the Bills, or San Diego and Seattle.